So we want to make sure everyone are comfortable with using LLM processing finance and accounting data. So the biggest challenge for using LLM instead of using Python is LLM sometimes does not generate stable, replicatable results. So we are going to fix that problem. So I'm sure before you guys use Python, use regular expression, use NLTK package, you do a lot of textual analysis, you can get variables, and every time you run the Python, you get the same results. But LLM is different. When you use LLM, each time you run it, you find the results are different. And this is cause troubles, because for us, for research, we want all the results are replicatable. Every time we want consistent, stable results. And we're going to fix all the problems because you have to use LLM in the right way. So what do I mean by right way? I'm going to show you step by step how to use that. So let me start with the examples. What do you mean by what kind of job we're targeting? So I want to show you guys some examples, and you guys can see what is going on. So this is the job I want you guys to focus on, the first job. So what I want you guys to do is, the job is you have a 10K from the company, and you want to get the product description from the 10K. So basically, you guys are familiar with 10K. The item one, so if you get, let's say Google, if you get Google's 10K, and the Google will have item one, business description. And in this description, Google will describe all the product. They will describe Chrome, they will describe Google search, they will describe the different AI products. So this is what the 10K from Google. So I'll give you 3 examples you can find from input file. So you have the Microsoft 10K, you have the Google 10K, you have the Facebook 10K. So what I want you guys to do is using LLM to extract the product description from these 10K and make the unstructured data become structured. So that's the purpose. So you can see that before we use Python to do it, right? If you use Python, you will rely on regular expression. And you first you have to human to observe the pattern and using regular expression to extract the product description from the 10K. Now, we don't want you guys to use regular expression. We want you guys to using LLM to do that. Okay, I want you guys to try is you put the 3 files into GPT, and then you give the prompt. So you see the prompt. The prompt is, please extract the product description from the item 1 business description from the 10K. And then please find many product as you can and output the file into the task 1 Excel file. And you want to define the columns clearly. You want to get a firm name, which is Google, Facebook. You want to get a firm ID, CIK. You want to get the product names from the 10K text. You want to get a product description. You want to get a year. So the number 1 license we want to focus on is you want the prompt as clear, as specific as you can. So you can see that I'm not just asking the LLM saying, give me the product description. No. You have to make it clear. You want the firm name, you want the CIK, you want the product name, and you tell them you have to go to item 1 to do it. So you see that the more information you give to LLM, the more clear and stable answer you will get, right? I'm not just giving the LLM 1 line saying, give me the product description. I'm not doing that. I ask them to give, I tell them you have to go to item 1. You tell them this is the variable name. This is the firm ID, and you tell them you find as many as product as possible. So all these have to from you, okay? My point is, do not think LLM is a super robot. They can read your mind. They cannot. Current AI cannot read your mind. You have to tell what you want in a specific way. Do not assume AI is a super robot, can tell whatever you think. You cannot. So you have to be specific. You have to tell them item 1. So here is the question. If you don't know the product description is in item 1, that will be in trouble. Because you have to figure out where is the product description. So here, I tell LLM the product description is in item 1. You have to have the knowledge and you pass on the knowledge to LLM. Once you do that, LLM can do better job for you. Okay, so you put the 3 files into the LLM, and you try it now. Later on, you guys during the break, you guys can try it now. So once you try it, this is the output. So GPT will 4.0 version will give you the output. So let's look at output. The GPT will extract the firm name, Google. GPT will get the CIK. The GPT will get the product name. So you can say Google Cloud is a product, YouTube is a product, and Google will give you the product description. And they will describe what is the Google Cloud, what is the YouTube. And so you can see that for each company, there's about 4 to 5 products. So this is the step 1. Step 1 is you give the 3 files to GPT. And you want to make the prompt as specific as you can. Give the domain knowledge, give the item 1 knowledge, give the variable names. And the GPT will output the Excel file. And for each company have 4 to 5 products. Once the final output, you can try it later on. I give you guys some you can try it later on, you can try it now. You can try either way, you can find out. And then this is not end of the story. Why is that? Because I want to show you the case. I changed the model. I used GPT 4.1 mini and look at the output. It's very, very different. So each company have 8 to 11 products per company. That's the trouble I'm talking about. If you use Python, you don't have that problem. Every time you run the Python, you have the same results. But if you use the large language model, you change the model, and it just gives you different classification. So you can see that here, the 4.0 is only 4 to 5 products per company. But here, if you change the model to 4.1 mini, they give you 8 to 11 products. So this is confusing because we want the actual product description, right? We don't want this output is model dependent. You use this model, get 4 products. Use other model, you get 10 products. That's not what we want. So we have to fix it. So how to fix it? So you have to make the output stable, and you have to make the output close to the truth, to the ground truth. If the Google really have 10 products, then they should report 10 products. If the Google have 4 products, they should report 4 products. So we have to fix the problem. So in order to fix the problem, you have to really figure out what's the reason, what makes cause the difference. But you see the GPT is black box, right? I don't know how they built 4.1. I don't know how they built 4.0. I don't know. This is a black box. How can we let the black box tell us what's going on between the two differences? The solution is easy. Ask GPT. I tell you, ask GPT. Hey, GPT, I run the first exercise. You give me 4 to 5 products. And I run the second exercise with 4.1. And you give the 10 product. What is going on? Tell me, GPT, tell me what's going on. And GPT will tell you the answer. And GPT will tell you, okay, the reason is because for the 4.0 version, the GPT automatically aggregate similar product together. But for the 4.1 mini version, they are more close to the descriptive. Like whenever this is one product, they give you one product. So 4.0 has one function, kind of trying to aggregate the similar product together. That's why you get a less product from the 4.0 version. So do I know the answer before? I don't know. Do you know the answer before? You don't know. So who knows the answer? GPT knows the answer because they built the GPT black box. Even I was computer science major, but I don't know how GPT was built because this is the algorithm is not open. I only know the parameters from the GPT 2.0. I don't know all the parameters from the advanced version. So what you do is you have to figure out the answer on your own. You have to figure out the answer on your own. So in my case, I ask GPT. I show the 2 cases, and the GPT tell me the reason, the cause difference, because the 4.0 aggregate similar product together, and the 4.1 mini does not do that. It's more close to the descriptive. So if you know the answer, and then you want to rewrite the prompt, the prompt has to be clear. You tell GPT, do not group similar product together, because that's what I want. I want the product description as close to the original text description. I do not want the LLM to aggregate the products. So you can see that So I will write the prompt in a more clear way. Tell GPT saying, do not aggregate similar product together. I want the output as close to the descriptive of from the 10K. This is what I if this is what you want, you have to tell GPT, you have to tell LLM. That's I was talking about. GPT cannot do everything you want because you didn't tell GPT what you want. You have to tell GPT what do you want. So this is I want to give the example to you guys. So you rerun this, okay? So what you guys want to do is you give the 3 files. You give it the 3 files to the GPT and you use the new prompt. So you say the new prompt is much longer. So you tell GPT, do not do this, do not do that, do not aggregate, and then ask GPT to export. So basically, same input file, but you have a longer prompt to specify what you want, and you rerun it. And you can see that the 4.0 will give more products. The 4 will give the 10 to 17 products. So because earlier 4 was aggregate similar product, but once you prompt it, you will not. It will give you like more products. And this one, if you manually check this one with the actual Google, you will see that's very similar. You will, if you manually read the Google 10K and you read the GPT-4 version after prompting, it's much closer, much closer. So this is what I'm saying. This is called a prompt tuning. So basically, if you're just using LLM to get what you want, you don't get the first time. You have to tune it. You have to prompt it. You have to find the reason. You have to test again. You have to do the experiments using the 3 files. And then once you prompting everything, once you finalize everything, and then so basically, like for us, you want to process massive data. For us, we have 100,000 files to process, but don't do that. You use 3 files as experiments. Once you're comfortable with everything, you can process large files. And then step 2 is I want you guys to convert the product level to firm level. So what does it mean is, so you can see that this file is the output from earlier step. So this is a product level. So you see that Google has like 16 products. The Facebook has kind of 10 products, but this is a product level. So the question I want is, I want for each company, how many products they have for that particular year. So what you want to do is you just ask a GPT saying, okay, so based on the files from previous step, please tell me how many distinct products does the company have? So please output the results to the Excel file named blah, blah, blah. So basically this file is from previous step. It's a product level file. I want to aggregate the product level file into firm level. So you can see that it will give you the file. The Google has 15 products. The Meta has 10 products. The Microsoft have 17 products. So I want to recall in old times how we do this. We would use SQL. We use group by firm ID to do this. So now this is new age. We don't use SQL anymore. We don't use group by firm ID anymore. You just prompt it. You just tell GPT, convert the product level to the firm level to me. The GPT will write the SQL group by for you. So here you have another option. You can tell GPT saying, please show me the code. The GPT can show you the code. The code will, you can see that the code will be SQL and group by firm ID. So all the stuff I'm showing right now is, I'm doing this AI 10 years ago. So before we kind of using Python, SQL to do all this, right now time has changed. We don't use much programming. Instead we use LLM to write the code. And then you can see that in this example, before you use SQL group by firm ID to do this. Now you just write English, and GPT will do this for you. And you can ask GPT to produce the code, SQL code, and you can run the SQL code. And you can just verify. So you say, I just want to change the mindset. Like right now, we rely less on the coding part and more rely on the LLM. But you have to use LLM in the right way, because I have more trouble to show you. You can see the result is so unstable. There's a lot of troubles. I'm going to tell you guys how to fix them. And so So how exactly make an LLM stable? I'll give you guys 3 big tips, and I will show each tips by example. But there's more things going on there. It's not a comprehensive list. You have to figure out the tips on your own. I will start with 3 tips, and you can do that. The first one is you want to make the prompt as specific as a objective. Do you guys remember? I tell the GPT go to item 1. Do you guys see that? So I want to make the LLM, I want to make a prompt as specific as I can. Do you guys remember I asked GPT the firm names. I want to give the firm name, firm ID. I want to give the prompt. So I define the variable names. I define the variable names. I kind of give the item 1 with item 1. So you want to make the prompt as specific as you can. And also you want to make a prompt as objective as you want. Do not ask GPT saying which sentence is more beautiful. Like which one is more like this kind of ask like very subjective question GPT cannot handle for you. You ask a more objective question. So where is the product? Where is the AI? And where is something objective? Don't ask like what is beautiful, what is not beautiful. This kind of question GPT cannot handle for you. So make your prompt specific and objective. Okay. Another one is GPT. If you run GPT twice using the same prompt, they give you different results because there's some hyperparameter, you have to fix it. If you don't fix the hyperparameter, it always give you some different answers. You want to fix that. And the third one is you have to clear your memory because when you run the GPT, you have the earlier prompt and you run the new prompt. Sometimes when you use the web version, the earlier prompt will confuse GPT and you give you inconsistent results. So what you have to do is you have to clear earlier prompt. You have to start a new session to run the GPT. Otherwise, the new prompt will be confused with earlier prompt and give you inconsistent results. That's not a problem when you run the API. So I'm talking about 2 versions. The first version is online version, the one version you guys do the experiments. When you do the online version, you have to clear the prompt. Clear the earlier prompt. Otherwise, the old prompt, earlier prompt will be mixed and confuse GPT. So if you use online version, and you have to worry about the clear the prompt, earlier prompt. But if you use API, and you don't have to worry about that because API do not remember your earlier prompt. You can just run it. So what's the difference between API and the online version is online version is for small sample experiments. If you want to process massive data, you have to go to API. Their working mechanism is the same. The only difference is online version is easy to use. It can give you the output easily. You can do the interface with you easily, but it only can handle like small sample. But if you want to process massive sample, you have to go to API, which I will talk about later on. And that's something I want to talk about. So this is the 3 tips I want to repeat because this is very important 3 tips. The first tips is you want to make your prompt as specific as objective. Number 1. Number 2, we have to fix some hyperparameters. Otherwise, each time GPT will give you different answer. The third one is if you use API, you don't have to worry about previous prompt. If you do not use API, if you use online interface, you have to clear your earlier prompt. You have to ask GPT, you have to start new session. So how to start new session? So you go to GPT, you go to Explore GPT, and you can start a fresh conversation. So basically, you just click Explore GPT, and the GPT will ask you to start a new customer GPT. Whenever you start a new customer GPT, it's a new session. And use the new session, all the previous prompt will be forgotten. And you can use the new customer to do the new prompting. So basically, again, just if you use API, you don't have to worry about that. API doesn't remember your previous prompt. If you use online version, you go to click Explore GPT, and you want to do start a new customer GPT, and you can have the GPT will forget about previous prompting. So Okay, let's move on to the second task. What the second task means, do you remember from the task 1, you guys get the product from 3 companies. The second one is I want you guys to identify which product is AI product, which one is non-AI product. So basically, just based on the step 1, you can build a step 2. So some of you guys ask questions. Can GPT do more of a qualitative stuff? But you got to break down the task into step by step. So you don't want GPT just go, give me what's the AI product, blah, blah, blah. You want to break down. You want to first you ask the GPT to get the product first, and then you get the AI product. So you see that if you want to have a complicated task, you don't want to just throw to AI, LLM. You want to break down by yourself. Once you break down by yourself, and you ask GPT to input each steps, and you get a final complicated output. So this is called the chain of thoughts. It's called a chain of thoughts. Basically, you have to demonstrate your chain of thoughts. And then you implement the chain of thoughts in the prompting, and the GPT can give you the right answer to you. So this is something I want you guys to be aware. So remember, in step 1, you get all the products from each company, right? Now I want you guys to identify which product is AI product, which product is non-AI product. So this is what do you guys want to do for this stuff? So so what's the input? The input here is the output file from previous step, and an output file is you want to show the AI product. So you can see that. So this task is dependent on the previous task. So the input file is the product file from previous file. The output file is how many AI products the company has. So and how to identify AI products. I want to give you guys 2 options for identify AI products. The first way to identify AI products is you can generate some AI keywords and use the AI keywords to identify which product is AI or not. That's approach 1. Approach 2 is you forgot about the keywords. You just give the product description to the GPT, and GPT can tell you it's the product AI or non-AI. I want to do the 2 approaches. I want to show you the difference. I want to show you how I do each of them, and I want to show you the difference. Let me repeat it one more time. I'm going to show you the 2 approach to identify AI product. The first one is I find AI keywords, and use the keywords. I do bag of words approach, and you can see which product is AI, which product is not. Depends on the keywords. The second one is I forget about keywords. I just put the whole product description into GPT. GPT can using the whole description to identify whether it is AI product or not. I want to show you both. How about I start with the first one, the AI keywords. In order to get AI keywords, you have to generate AI keywords. So what I do is I ask GPT saying, give me 20 AI keywords. I want the keywords generated by GPT, and then I can use this one to the future. I want to use it to future identification or classification. So I just don't trust GPT. You know, I know it's ironic. I want you guys to use GPT, but personally I don't trust GPT. So why I don't trust GPT is I ask GPT give me keywords, 20 keywords, first round, and they give me 20 keywords, but I don't trust it because I feel they don't give me the stable answer. So I use the same prompt, ask GPT give me the keywords again, and you can find twice, run twice. The many keywords are different. So that will cause trouble because if you have each time you have different results, that will cause the trouble. That will cause the trouble. So so I know it's ironic, right? So I want everyone to use GPT to do the things here, but I'm not promoting you guys to use GPT. I'm promoting you guys to use GPT in a cautious and careful and efficient way. That's what I'm talking about. So you can see that here. You want to you want GPT to generate the keywords. You run twice. The keywords are different. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix that problem. The problem of that problem. So the problem is that we got to fix some hyperparameters. So but I don't want to confuse you guys. Some of you may be wondering why 20 keywords. Just an example. You can ask 100. You can ask 50. I just make a 20. Just make it easier to demonstrate the examples. Okay, so this is they give me different results. So as a person who have been AI and computer science for a while, I know what's the reason. Because when we design the machine, we have a randomness. We put in an algorithm. So for example, because when we design a neural network, when we design this kind of parameter tuning, we intentionally input some randomness into the parameter tuning. So as a computer science major, I know because I know the foundation of the algorithm, I know where is the problem. But for you guys, if you don't know what is the dropout, you don't know what's the learning rate, if you don't know what's the fundamental algorithm of this machine optimization, if you don't know that, maybe you don't know why this is randomness. Maybe you don't know. So here it depends on the background. If you have the background understanding the optimization, the foundation of machine learning, for me, I already know what's going on because the randomness designed in the algorithm. So if you don't know what's the reason, and you can still ask a GPT saying, why there's a difference? Tell me the difference, right? So kind of, I mean, you don't have to study computer science to figure out what's going on. I spent I started as a computer science major and moved to finance accounting. So I see what's going on here. But most of the people, if you don't have that training, you don't know what's going on. So if you don't know what's going on, you ask a GPT. So ask a GPT saying why there's a difference between the two, and GPT will give you a pretty good answer. The answer is better than my understanding. GPT tell you have to fix some temperatures. You have to fix the top P. You have to fix the frequency penalty. You have to fix the precedence penalty. You have to fix the stop. So these are the hyperparameters. That's the randomness I was talking about earlier. So when we design this machine learning, we put some randomness in the machine learning, sometimes to save the computational power. Sometimes it's just to improve the efficiency of find the right parameters. So you ask a GPT, GPT will tell you, you got to fix these parameters. So for example, temperature. So what is temperature? So when temperature is 0 means what? Means the GPT will give you the best answer. So that's it. So if you give a GPT as a high value, then GPT will give you a range of the best answer. So this is a very good example to show you, if you want the results stable, you just want the best answer. You don't want a range of best answer, because once you give a range of best answer and you have unstable results. So that's the temperature. That's similar to the top P, right? That's the top percentage of the best answer. So these are the parameters you can fix in order to make the hyperparameters you can fix to make the results stable. And the GPT gives a pretty good answer, even better on the computer science major. If you ask an average computer science major, they don't give you the answer. They may give you temperature, but they don't give you the top P. So basically, ask a GPT about the questions they will give you. So what should you do? So what you do is, when you run the prompt again, you fix the parameters. You say, okay, I want to fix all the parameters, and you run the keywords twice, and you find the results are the same. So you can see that. So sometimes you find the inconsistent results. Sometimes it's not AI's problem, it's your problem. So that's why I feel like sometimes people have criticize, it's not stable, it's not replicatable, it's not usable. Sometimes it's not AI's problem. That's your problem. You have to fix your problem, not abandon AI. You have to fix the problem. So let's say you can see, once I fix the parameters, the keywords are the same. The keywords are the same. And you guys can do the experiments on that. And then we do the counting, the keywords counting. So before we do keywords counting, so this is something, again, you have to understand some knowledge before you ask a GPT to do that. So I want to give you guys what is lemmatization. And so lemmatization means you convert the words into original format. So for example, produce, you convert back to produce. Went, you convert back to go. So this kind of conversion is called lemmatization. So let's look at this example. The company developed a new AI system. Now is developing additional features to further develop its capabilities. If you do not do the lemmatization, if you just search the develop, you only have one hit. However, if you do the lemmatization, you convert develop into develop. You convert develop into develop. You develop is develop. And if you do lemmatization, you have 3 hits. So you can see that this process called lemmatization. So usually we do what? We use Python to do this. Use Python, you do the lemmatization, and you get the backwards approach, you count the frequency, right? That's old times, right? We are young generation, right? Young generation doesn't use this approach. Young generation use AI. So we used to use Python to do this lemmatization, and I personally use C. I use C to do this lemmatization, and then so use Python NLTK. If you are interested, you can use Python NLTK to do this lemmatization and do the backwards approach. I use C. I use C. I use even older generation. So right now you don't need that anymore. So what you want is you just tell GPT saying, okay, please lemmatize for me. Yeah, once you lemmatize and count the keywords for me. So basically you don't do the lemmatization, the GPT will do the lemmatization for you. So let's see the output. The output is what? The output, do you remember this column is the output from previous step, right? So what I want is for each product description, you search AI keywords. So look at this, 2. 2 means what? You have 2 AI keywords. So cloud hit, AI hit. So this one, you have a 2 AI keywords count. And you see here with AI, so it's 1 count. So basically what we are doing here is based on the previous output, you want to see among the product description, how many keywords, AI keywords was included in product description. If it's 1, that's 1. If it's 2, it's 2. And if it contains more than 1 keywords, we can consider as AI product. So that's very simple. That's very simple. And before we using Python to do that, now we're just using GPT to do that. So you can see that. So you can see that. So based on the previous output, you generate the keywords first, and then you ask GPT to count the keywords for you. And then this is the new column generated by GPT, show you among the product description, how many keyword counts you have. And then this is not the end of the story. This is not the end of the story. So I want you guys to do is, I want you guys to convert the product level information to form level. Do you guys still remember SQL, group by form ID? Do the same. So you do the same, you group by this into form level. So you get the variable is how many AI product Google has, how many AI product Facebook has, how many AI product Microsoft has. You just do the step by step what I teach you guys. You can get a very accurate form level AI product variable. So you can know how many AI products Google has, how many AI products Facebook has, how many AI product Microsoft has. So do this step by step, follow my prompt, follow my steps. You can get everything going on pretty well. So this is the one thing I want you to be guys aware. This is the same. I told you guys this is like SQL group by form ID. And then what I want you guys to do is, what if you don't use the keyword search, use another approach? So what does another approach mean is you don't use the keywords we generated. You just give the whole you give the whole product description to GPT, and GPT can tell this is the AI product or non-AI product. So you write the prompt clear, okay? Make sure your prompt is clear. Once your prompt clear and you have this kind of you guys can have this kind of you input the files, and you ask GPT to tell you whether it's the AI product or not. And but you can see that when you try the results, the results are so bad. You know, keyword search is stable. It gives you like AI, it contains keywords, not keywords. But if you just ask a GPT to use the product description to classify this as AI product or not, so much wrong mistake. You can look at this. So what's the product? The product is the AI system for predicting protein structure. And so this is DeepFold, right? DeepFold is such a famous AI product, but the GPT tell this is non-AI product. So sad, right? So sad. So this is not stable. This is not stable. When you're using the keywords, it's a stable. You can tell you each keyword, what this keyword is, contains a keyword or not contains keyword. But when you do not using keywords, when you ask a GPT to use the whole product description to tell this is AI product or AI product, look at this case here. Deep fold used to be a deep fold. They call it alpha fold. The deep fold is such amazing AI product. They call it non-AI, right? We have to fix it, right? Like I told you, whenever you see a problem, maybe it's AI problem, maybe it's your problem. Okay, let's figure it out. Maybe this is AI problem, maybe it's my problem, but you have to dig into that. That's the process. So you can see the skill requirement is different. Previously, I asked all my students to do Python programming. That's the skills. Now you have a less requirement on the programming, but you have more skills on the discover the problem. Where's the problem? Where's the solution? That's the skill requires for the new generation. Okay, so you can see the skill requirement is switching. Before, we want you guys to have a very solid quant programming skills. Now, you need to identify the problem and find a solution on your own. That's the skill need for the new generation. Let's find the problem. And so what is going on? Why is not stable? Why there's so many misjudgment? Why is that? And what's the solution? So the solution is because you have an earlier prompt. So far, we prompt so much. The earlier prompt confused the GPT. We have a keyword search prompt. We have earlier prompt. You run so many prompts. The earlier prompts confuse the GPT. All the prompts together, they can not give you the correct answer. So what do? So you have to go to you have to clean all the prompts. So what you do is you go to the GPT. You want to have a new customized new version GPT, and you make sure you select here. You select code interpreter and the data analytics. You select. So follow the steps I have here. You will create a new AI. You will create a new GPT session without the previous prompt. So what I'm doing here is just to clear earlier prompt. Because sometimes you have an earlier prompt, you have new prompt. When you run everything together, it just confuses GPT. So what you want to do here is using a customized GPT. It's a new version of the GPT, new GPT window, and you follow what I'm talking about here, and you rerun it, and you do the same thing. You do the same thing. You rerun the stuff after clean the prompt. Also, another thing is, do you remember we fixed the hyperparameter here? Correct? You remember? We fixed the hyperparameter here. So what you want to do is three things. I want to recap what I did. Three things. There's the three things you want to produce consistent results. First, you want to objective and specific prompt. Second, you want to fix hyperparameters. Third, you want to clear the previous prompt. If you did the three things, and then let's run it again. Okay, let me repeat it one more time. So you want objective specific prompts. You want the fixed hyperparameters. You want to clear previous prompt. And once you did the three things here, you run it again. You can see that. Let's look at you can look at the deep fold. Everything is correct. Everything is correct. So if you fixed everything I was talking about, at least for this case, you get a correct answer. But does that mean as long as you do the three things, you can get right answer? Majority case, yes. But everyone has a different job. Someone is in accounting, someone is in finance, someone is in marketing. You have your own job. So you will face new problems. Once you face new problems, you can first check the three things I was talking about. But if it didn't work, you have to find your own answer. You have to find your own answer. So again, I want to emphasize the new skill required for this new generation is less relevant to programming. It's more of a problem discovery and a solution discovery. That's what we need. That's what we need. So here, I give you the three tips, but you need to work on your own to find new solutions based on your new questions. So, and then what do? Another one is I want to compare the keyword approach with the GPT approach. I want to compare the two approaches. So you guys can see this is the keyword approach, identify AI product. This is the GPT approach to identify the whole product description. And you can see that this is the difference. In general, the GPT approach is better. So basically, if you use the whole product description, the results are better than the keyword-based description. Why is that? Many reasons. First, the keyword approach, you don't have the comprehensive keywords, right? The keywords may be just short. People just because you don't have a most comprehensive keywords, so the keyword approach is not as comprehensive as a AI approach. That's number one reason. The second reason is if you're just using keyword approach, you ignore the syntax and the context of the sentence, but the GPT can pick it up, right? So you can see that the example I show you is if you use the GPT approach correctly, you will have a better results than the keyword approach, slightly better. However, the point is you have to use GPT approach correctly. Do you remember? If you don't clear the memory, if you don't use the fixed parameters, if you don't make the prompt clear, then the results is even worse. So if you don't know how to use the right prompt, you better use the keyword approach. Because the keyword approach is not as good as GPT approach, but at least it's stable. So you guys can see the dilemma here, right? Dilemma here is normally if you use GPT right, the output will be better than keyword approach. Only if you use the GPT right. If you don't know how to use GPT right, maybe keyword approach is better because at least keyword approach has some mistake, but it's stable. So it depends on how comfortable you are. Okay, you are comfortable with this, use GPT approach, make sure you use right, you can get better results. If you're not comfortable, and you can use keyword approach. Even if keyword approach is slightly worse, but it's good, it's stable, right? So this is something I want you guys to be considered. I want to go to the third one, and I want to go third one. I will, you guys can do exercise, and then you guys can ask a question. So what's the third one is I want to identify AI talents from the different companies. So earlier we did AI products, right? Each company has AI products. So how do you use this one to identify AI products? AI talents. This is what I want you guys to be aware of. How to using the LLM GPT to identify AI talents. There's a lot of industry people are doing this. I spend a lot of time with Wall Street. They are using a lot of LLM to identify AI products, AI talents. So the example I'm showing you guys here is not made up. The example I'm showing here is what the industry people are doing. And sometimes they ask me how to do that. I mean, they some of them using Python to do it. I mean, I show them the alternative way to do it. So these are not example I made up. These are the example from the practitioners from the Wall Street. They want to identify this information from firms so they can generate the signals of the company to understand the company. So look at this, how to identify AI talents from each company. So what you do is you first, so the input is what? Input is a lot of people's CV, employee CV. The output is what? Output is identify whether the job is AI job or non-AI job. So make sure you understand the input, output. Input is the employee CV. The output is whether the job is AI job or non-AI job. So one thing I want you guys to be aware of, you have to do some structural conversion. What do I mean by structural conversion? So here, so look at, this is my CV. I'm Sean Chow. My job 1 is at a high school, job 2, university, job 3, professor. So I have 3 jobs. So what you want to do is you want to convert the CV structure into a job level structure. So you have to convert these to row 1 is job 1, row 2 is job 2, row 2 is job 3. Why I want to do that? Because the classification is not at an individual level. The classification is at a job level. So what does it mean? What I mean is you cannot tell me Sean Kao is an AI person or not. That's not correct. That's not correct. You only tell me Sean Chow job 3 is AI or not. Sean job 2 is AI or not? Because when I was a high school student, do you think I'm an AI talent? I'm not. But do you think I'm an AI talent now? Yes, I am. So you have to convert the individual CV level data into job level. And the classification is not to classify whether Sean Chow is AI. No, you have to classify Sean Chow's professor job is AI or not. So this is what you guys want to do. Okay, that's number one. So how do you do that? You can use SQL to do that. You can use Python. You can use LLM to do that. So you write the prompt clearly. You ask a GPT saying, convert the individual level CV into the job level. Please do that. And boom, they will do this for you. Okay. And after we remember 3 things you fix. Remember, 1, make the prompt specific and objective. 2, fix the hyperparameters. 3, clear earlier prompt. Once you did that 3 things, they will give you the stable answer here. If you don't do those things, they'll give you the messed up answer. They will, every time they'll give you generate a different answer. But you did the 3 things I tell you guys, the output here will be stable and correct. Okay, that's 1. So once you did that, what do? You want to classify whether each job is AI or not. And you want to write the prompt very clear. You want to tell how to define AI. What is AI job? You want to make the prompt as specific, as objective as you can. I don't want to repeat anymore. Okay, so basically what I'm telling you is do not treat AI as a god. Saying AI, tell me, this is tell me the answer. You don't treat AI as a god. You have to give AI as many information as you want. Here, I define where is AI job, how to convert the individual level into the job level. So you don't treat AI as a god. You have to give AI as much information as you can. That's number 1. Number 2, do not treat AI as a garbage, saying, oh, AI does not do good job, abandon it. Do not abandon it. Do not overestimate AI, do not underestimate AI. Trying to work on with AI, find out what's the sweet spot. That's how we kind of do this. Okay, this is a common mistake I found from all the usage of AI. People treat AI as a god. Okay, tell me the answer. And then the answer is not great. Oh, let's abandon it. It's not. That's not the right way to use it. Do not overestimate AI. Do not underestimate AI. Trying to test where's the boundary of AI. Find the ceiling of AI. Find the boundary of AI and work with the boundary and find the right answer. That's the new skills you guys need to master in the new age. So test the boundary of AI. That's the new skills. Okay, and also that's a test the boundary of your own skills, because right now you can see how you use AI correctly. It's not just depends on AI. It also depends on you. You guys see that? You guys see that? If you don't use AI correctly, and then the output will be bad. So it's not a use of AI. It's using your AI plus your skills of using AI. So let's see that. So you write the prompt clearly, and you guys see the flags. So this is an AI job or non-AI job. And after that, and you want to aggregate from level. We did this many times, right? So once you have the individual job level, you SQL group by, and you get kind of from level. So by now, what you can get is how many AI talents Google has, how many AI talents Facebook has, how many AI talents Microsoft has. By doing all the exercise I show you guys, you can get each company, how many AI products they have, how many AI talents they have. Like I told you guys, this is not a made up example. This is exactly what a lot of companies doing, the sell side company, the buy side company from the financial industry in the Wall Street. They are kind of focused on, they want to get this information to figure out the firm's fundamental and the future stock returns. And then so I wanted to give a very little bit summary, and we'll give you guys some of the move on to next step. So basically what we are doing here is to identify AI talents, AI jobs. So you first convert individual level data into job level, and then you make sure your prompt is clear. And then you using GPT, you can tell which job is AI job, which job is non-AI job. So once you have done that, you can aggregate the job level into firm level. So you can see that which company, how many AI talents Google has, how many AI talents Microsoft has. And by now you will have the variable for each Google. You have variable about AI talents and AI products. So now what I want to tell you guys, so far we only process 3 companies. That's not what Wall Street wants. Wall Street wants to process everything, the whole universe, even China, even Korea, even Japan. They're not just looking at the 3 companies. They want to do everything. So how we scale up, how we make the 3 company example scale up to the massive universe companies. So now we have to go to GPT, the API, because you using the online version, you never handle that many questions. You have to go to the API. You have to go to the API. So go to the API. So basically, so you have to using the API to call the API. So in order to call the API, the prompt you use is not you have to convert, because API only take a JSON file. JSON file is the format the API will use. So what you want to do is you ask GPT saying, GPT, could you convert the prompt I had into JSON format so I can using the prompt for API calling. So you just ask GPT to convert this. So you can see GPT will convert your current prompt into a JSON format. So once you have the JSON format of your prompt, and then you can use the code to run API. And once you run our API, you can handle everything, every universe of the firms, and that's pretty much. So the coding API is not difficult. Most difficult one is you have to get the correct prompt first. Once you get a correct prompt, you can ask GPT to convert the prompt into JSON format, so you can call the API to process the massive format. And then once you did that, you can do the large scale calculation. Now you have to worry about money now, because so far using 3 examples, you don't cost you too much. But you want to handle all the US companies and Japan, Korea companies, you have to worry about money. So how do you handle the saving the cost? So I have another video teach you guys how to saving the cost. But what you guys do is you have to get the API first. And then for the API, you create an API key. You have to put your credit card into the OpenAI. And then once you put your credit card, they give you an API key. Once you have the API key, you can use the prompt we developed earlier, and you can handle every company you want to handle. So let me conclude this. So we use 3 examples to show how to use GPT. But if you want to scale up, you have to get the API key from the menu here. Once you get an API key, use the prompt you created, you can process every single company in the universe. And I have another video about how to save money. Another easy way to save money is, if you run the GPT in the daytime, it's expensive. How about when other people are sleeping and you can run it? It's called a batch API. So batch API almost half price. Okay, the only downside is, you got to work a little harder, right? When other people is resting, you are working. When other people is working, you can rest, right? So basically, what you can do is use batch API. You can get half price off. So I have many ways to save money. I know, but I know a lot of people doesn't have a budget concern. If you have a budget concern, forget about part. Okay, if you have a budget concern, go to my website to see how to save money, how to use the batch API, how to reduce the token size, how to run a parameter to save your budget. If you have a concern, go to my video to check it out. If you don't have the concern, don't worry about it. Everything is good. Everything is good.